let's get into our first dude. This dude, standing at 6 foot and weighing 234 pounds, is a dynamic running back drafted as a second overall pick in 2018.
Oh, I know.
To a team that almost ruined his career. And then he was smart enough to leave, and that team was dumb enough to let him leave.
Is that an AI?
It says it.
No, it doesn't.
It says it.
Oh, wow.
That was not me. You cannot blame that on me. It's
AI.
what AI is saying.
Jeez, AI knows everything.
They do. He quickly established himself as a dynamic player known for his explosive speed and versatility, amassing over 2,000 yards from scrimmage in his rookie season and winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. Throughout his 6-year career, he has earned 3 Pro Bowls.
Wow.
Born in the Bronx, he mainly grew up in Pennsylvania, playing high school football there and then committing to Penn State, where he was a 2-time Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year and was 4th in the Heisman voting in 2017.
Yeah.
He considers himself the GOAT. No, of Connect Four.
Oh.
Of Connect Four. With Christian McCaffrey being the only person who has beaten him.
Connect Four.
Let's get into Quadzilla. Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley.
Say quad.
Well, that's the first thing I think
And
of is his quads. It's how big and beastly and filling they are, and just how massive and just explosive those quads are, and how he can stomp on anyone and probably kill him if he did. If he was in WWE, hold on, where's my hat? If he was in WWE, they probably wouldn't allow him because you know those leg drops they do? He would do the Saquon Barkley leg drop, and it would be called the Saquon. Boom, and he would drop his quad, and boom, the wrestler would be dead right on the spot.
Yeah,
What's the first thing you think of, Jules?
the first thing I think of is, man, I can't believe I'm putting on a Philadelphia hat when it's Saquon Barkley.
You're right. Hold on. I can't put the Philly hat on.
I can't.
I did really quick, and then it bounced off my head. Whoa!
I mean, whatever.
Nope.
You know, but the thing is, you always thought he would be a Giant for the rest of his life. And boy, was that one Giant loss. To lose Saquon Barkley. I mean, and to see him go out and do what he's doing this year with a really good football team. I mean, this is what you want for a guy like Saquon Barkley, because he's just a good ass dude. I mean, you look in the last game of the year or in the playoffs, the 4-minute situation, breaks a big run, stops down. The whole team's like, why didn't you score? And he's over here as long as we win. Like, that's the kind of guy Saquon is. I've had team player. I've got to hang out with him at a whole bunch of cool things.
That actually makes it even more surprising and more hurtful to the Giants fan base that he was such a team player as well, and they still let him go.
Mm-hmm. I mean, who's calling the shots over there?
I think I really don't want to blame Dable, because I love Dable, and he's like one of my favorite coaches of all time. But like, he's the head coach, but like, the head coach doesn't call the shots about who comes in and out as the players. I think you got to put it on the GM, correct? And kind of the owner as well, because the owner said he's going to not be able to sleep at night if Saquon Barkley goes to the Philadelphia Eagles, and then he goes to the Philadelphia Eagles. Well, sir,
probably not sleeping.
You could have easily stepped in and offered about $2-3 million more just to keep, Saquon Barkley on the New York Giants. And let me tell you for a second, this is my problem. He left because there was an argument over like $500,000 or $1 million.
$1 million bucks.
$1 million bucks. What? 12? What is he getting paid? $12 million?
$12 million.
Or whatever. $13 million, whatever it is. And the Giants offered him $1 less million. Well, I can tell you this. He's still underpaid by at least $10 million.
He is.
And there was an argument about not paying him because of $1 million with the Giants organization.
You
got to really put it into perspective. Just think about that.
Yeah, he's literally catapulted this Philadelphia team. He's that good of a football player. He had a magical year. He went over 2,000 yards, regardless of how many games, whatever, to go out there and put that performance on that he did this year, coming from the rival team.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a Disney movie if they go and win the Super Bowl. If they win the Super Bowl, I think Disney's probably going to – there's a Kurt Warner movie, so Disney will make a freaking this movie, I feel.
Yeah. And it
I
just
feel
shows
this movie. It's a movie.
it shows how great of a player he really was, because when he was with the Giants, he really had absolutely zero help. He had no line. There really wasn't any skill players around him. He had
He still balled.
no quarterback, and he still
He
balled.
hurt his knee, and then he came back. It took him a year to get right, and then he had a really good year last year. Like,
Still balled. I'm talking ball. And now that it just shows, if you really want to thrive, if you really want to have the best year ever, it does take a team effort, but you just got to find that situation. He found that situation in Philly, and now his talents are even thriving to a whole nother level because he has such a beastly line in front of him, and he's got great coaching around him. He's got great players as well at the skill position around him. That's why he went for over 2,000 yards, this season in just a regular season. He's just a phenomenal athlete that
should be MVP.
Is one of the athletes that you only see once per decade, once per every 20 years.
Player.
Generational player, big time.
Yeah, you ever hang out with him?
I never hung out with Saquon Barkley. No, I never have. I just really want to see his quads in person,
bro.
I just want to look. I hope he has like short shorts on, like he's in the 80s, so I can just stare at him.
I went to the Met Gala, and we ended up. It was me, him, and OBJ. We were all hanging out because we were, the athletes there, and we had a great time. But I saw he was wearing a skirt.
I would too if I had those quads.
Goddamn quads in that. I was like, holy shit. I had nightmares. His quads were so goddamn big, and I saw the whole thing in like a skirt.
A kilt. A kilt. Jules.
Regardless, it looked like a skirt. But it was crazy. We had such a fun time. He's an awesome dude, and that's why I love seeing him have this success. I remember we were having some adult beverages, and me and Odell, we've been in a league for a while by that time, and we want to go to McDonald's real quick, and he was like such a young kid, like, hey man, I don't eat McDonald's. You guys eat McDonald's? I was like, dude.
He's one of those guys, just McDonald's to the face and just.
He wouldn't. No, he didn't want it.
All right.
He didn't want McDonald's.
He didn't want it. All right.
Like, he was disciplined.
That's what makes him great then. Discipline
we were
makes you
eating
great.
double cheeseburgers.
And also what makes you great is just the way that he plays the game. He's powerful. He has great pad level as well. It's like he's like the perfect running back because like he's got size. He's not like he's skinny. He's thick, but he's also really shifty.
Catch the ball too.
You know how hard that is to find a running back like that, thick and shifty. He's got great downfield vision as well. And as you can see this year, right when he breaks through the hole, he already knows he's going to the house. You could just tell because of that vision. He can see the whole entire field. The cutback lanes that he creates, are impressive. He's just an overall, all-around great running back. First, second, third down as well. Great work ethic, like you said. You just know he has great work ethic by the workouts that you see that are on the internet. Also, the discipline, not eating McDonald's at 2 a.m., even being tipsy, and even with influences like you that trying to get him to eat McDonald's. I would have fell for it in a quick second.
Even a nugget.
And not even a nugget, not even a McFlurry. You kidding me? How can you not even have a spoonful of a McFlurry at 2 a.m.? But what's most impressive about him and what really, gets this offense to a whole nother level for the Philadelphia Eagles is his big play ability. When you got big play ability players on your team, that's why you're in championship games.
Yeah, and he'll be remembered. He'll be remembered for as long as football is going because we all see these historic plays and these historical shots. Him doing a back reverse freaking hurdle.
Back reverse hurdle
lunge thing over another human being that's a tall guy. That's going to be remembered, and it's going to be played forever. Just like when we see the immaculate reception with Franco Harris or, one of the crazy hits by freaking the Odell Beckham catch, all these crazy, that's going to be remembered forever.
And you want to know what's crazy is you play Madden, it's a video game. It's exaggerated how talented these players are.
No, not for Saquon.
Exactly. And these moves that sometimes you can do when you hit all the buttons, the guy does a move that you never seen before and you're like, that's unrealistic. Saquon Barkley did such an unrealistic hurdle 360, 180 jump and landed it that Madden didn't even have that in the game. And that Madden had to add that play, add that move or whatever it's called. What is that called?
That's just athleticism.
That athleticism or that button. So now you can be able to use that and hurdle over someone while 360 in the air
you?
on Madden. I mean, I hope so. I think Madden added
They
it.
should just call it the button mash, where you just mash all the buttons and it does a Saquon Barkley backflip jump thing over a hurdle.
There we go.
He's a button masher.
Button masher and mashes defenders as well.
Now, what do you think about him sitting for Eric Dickerson's record? He needed 100 and something, 101
I think it
yards?
just shows what you were talking about earlier, just how big of a team player he was. He was looking at the big picture, and that's Super Bowl. Yeah, he could have gotten the record, but what if he just got hurt getting the record, and then he wasn't there throughout the playoffs? And look at the damage he already did in the playoffs. The reason why they won that game versus the Los Angeles Rams was because he was playing in the game, and he rushed for 2 touchdowns, both of them over 50 yards, and I think he went for like almost over 200 yards as well rushing. So it just shows what type of team player he is, and just overall, just the goal and mindset of winning it all, and that's what it's all about.
This is only good if they win the Super Bowl.
It is.
If they don't win the Super Bowl, this is crazy.
I agree, but he can also break the all-time record, including playoffs and regular season, which I think he will break that. I think he's about 100-something yards away.
What kind of dude is Saquon Barkley?
Oh,
What kind of dude?
oh man.
I mean,
What kind of dude is he? He grew up around
in Pennsylvania.
Great football there.
Great
high
football,
school
you know
football.
that. Great hope.
Yes.
Born in the
Underrated.
Bronx. So tough, New Yorker.
Tough. I think
Went to Penn State.
I think he has a lot of boxing in his background as well.
A lot of boxing in his background.
From what I recall reading.
He's
reading
definitely got.
about him.
He's a dog.
He is a dog, but he kind of is a freak as well.
Those quads,
because like you said, when he was wearing that kilt, you were like, whoa, like that's what we talk about. When you see a freak, it's because of their physical nature.
He's definitely a stud too. Yes.
And you were like, that's some physical nature that blew your mind.
It was mind blowing. It was kind of like the first time when I saw Dante Hightower's calves.
Oh, freaky.
He's got some big ass calves.
Imagine if you combine, if you made one leg and you had Dante Hightower's calves and Saquon Barkley's quad,
you would get like someone. I think that person.
It'd be like the Hawk, actually.
I think that person
It'd be the Hawk's legs.
He could do a tug of war with a fucking whatever the best super diesel truck there is. He could probably with that leg.
An F-350.
Definitely.
Actually, screw it. An 18-wheeler.
You could probably take down an 18-wheeler. He's definitely a dude's dude as well because
of how big of a team player he is.
The team player. I mean, to go and be the most hated guy for a team and then join that team and then become such a big leader that it's apparent
and be beloved.
We are all
By
looking
the whole
at
locker room and fan base. But that story that you told me about when he was in the kilt, that's just sticking to my head, so I know what I'm going with.
1, 2, 3, freak. Yeah, man. You see those legs?
Sexy.
Person at 230 pounds is not supposed to do jump flips, back hurdles over men that are trying to kill you.
Only when you got quads like that, though, Jules.
Quadzilla.